What's up, all three of you, once again?
Yo, what up, bro?
I'm
Oh,
good.
that's a new gamer chair.
Yes, I was going to
Oh, that's fire. That's a white one. I gotta get a new gamer chair too. I just moved into a new house, so I gotta get a new gamer chair. I don't know what color to get.
probably get the same one as you did last time.
I just might. It was pretty swagged out.
All right, let's talk about this season. Before we get to the mystery of the happenings of last season, especially with you, Alex Dupree, how are you approaching your characters for this season?
Man, that's a good question.
Sure, yeah. I approached her with a little bit more. I really wanted to be in control of my space everywhere I came on screen. So it was just like a little bit more effortless, a little bit more sure of herself. She's a little bit more confident in the space that she's in and with the work that she's doing with the crew. And I think that really translates. I'm very, very, very proud of my work this season.
I am too. She's incredible this season.
Thank you.
Alex is on fire the whole season, from episode 1 through 10. From scene 1 to scene 60, she's going crazy. She's in that pocket the whole season.
All right, we good? We did it right? Is that okay? Is that what you want us to say? I mean, I would say personally, like, the hardest part about playing Brayden is like a lot of times he's getting darker every season. Obviously, he's getting deeper in the game, and a lot of times you'll get a script, and then you'll hear, there's such dark material, and then all of a sudden, like, but it needs to be funny this episode. And you're like, oh my gosh, how do I make this funny? It's all drugs and murder. So it's like finding those nuances in the moments of like, it's such a dark show, but like nobody lives their life like that. There's drug dealers, like these dudes are some of the funniest people you ever meet in your entire life. So I try and find like the humanization in like the comedic timing of that world.
And that's where I take my hat off to you, because in so many serious and dark scenes, you always find a perfect spot to just fit in a little something. Yeah, it's never forced. It's never like you do it perfectly. So I tell you. But I would say I approach my character. I guess I would say same, not the same as I always approach it, but obviously just with knowing what he went through these past few seasons, and just obviously being in the stage where he just like he's fighting something. He's fighting the fact that he's becoming ghost. He's fighting the fact that he's fighting a lot, and then on top of that, he's worrying about a lot as well. So he's just he's forced to be a big boy again, but a bigger one, because he has a lot more responsibility than before. But definitely is going through a lot.
Awesome. So who's going to be the first to discover Lauren's body?
None of us.
Who does though? I mean, no.
The authorities.
Yeah, the police.
So I had to throw that in there because I'm still waiting to see what's going to happen with her.
Oh, it's very tragic too.
Yeah, it's very sad. I didn't want to do it. I did. She made me.
And my final one for all of you, I asked Beach this on a BMF junket. Lil Meech, I asked him what spinoff he would like to be on. And he said he would like to be on Ghost. So
of course he wanted to be on Ghost. We're the best show. Sorry about that.
Oh man, any other spinoff? I'm not gonna lie, I would love to be on Kanan or BMF, because I would just love to play, not BMF, but I would love to just play in that older, era, like 80s, 90s type era. I would love to be part of that aesthetic, the clothes, the accents, the dialect that we're speaking with back in the day. Like, I would love to be part of that. So, yeah, I would Raising King.
Yeah, I've never personally done a period piece. I think that would be so cool. The clothes are really cool on Kanan. But who's to say that, someone doesn't show up in force? We don't know how that, about the cross, because we're technically in the same timeline. So y'all boys could head on over to Chicago. You don't know.
Tommy might need some help, man. But yeah, I always wanted to live in the 90s. That would be my chance. Raising Kanan.
I'll tell you what, New York used to be a war zone. This is coming from someone who lived in the 90s. But how about you?
It was crazy, huh?
Yeah. How about you, Alex?
I think the same, because I love Tina. So
Whoa, chill out. She's mine. I love Bettina.
I definitely love to work alongside Bettina.
Yeah.
Sure. What?
Seeing her on Broadway and then seeing her go do that character, it's just crazy.
I feel like she'd bring so much out of me as an actor.
Games too.
No, that was wild. She
Oh,
was
Wilder.
on that.
Well, I just seen that. I haven't seen her like that. Great.
Yeah.
Great.
But yeah, she's
a
dope.
different person.
Right. Yeah, nah, she's too elite. Too elite. Like,
I'm happy to speak with all of you. Hopefully, we can all meet up again in person soon so we can talk all about this craziness.
Please. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And also, congrats, Mike and the both of you for their podcast too. I tune in every single week.
Thank you, my
so
brother.
much.
We're coming back very soon.
Thank you. First episode coming next week, baby. First
Yes,
one
sir.
back.
In this, and guess what? He is still taking money from Tariq. What are your thoughts about this? Because Tariq has a lot of money, and I'm thinking to myself, do you think we know where he's getting it from?
Honestly, Davis never took anything from Tariq. We're going to work things correctly. Davis, if anything, Tariq pays for a service that is done well enough that he wants to pay at the end of the day. You know, I think, honestly, at the end of the day, regardless of the price, Davis saves a lot of people's lives, whether you agree with their lifestyle or not.
So how are you approaching this character for this upcoming season? Because this seems like it's going to be in a dark territory.
From a real place, I want to come from a real place. Of course, a lot of traumatizing things have been going on for the last 2 seasons. I think this third season is gonna not exactly wrap things up in a tight little bow, but it will answer a lot of questions, which leads to more questions, which will bring us to season 4.
Yeah, and I can't wait to go for season 5, 6, and 7 too. So how are you feeling with the overall story for this season? Because not only we got Davis, and we also got things that's going on with Tariq. We also got Lauren's body that's not being found anywhere. So there's a lot of things that is going on coming to this first episode.
I like to give a lot of credit to the writers because there's a lot of storylines that have to be wrapped up, and not even wrapped up, but the way they can weave them all together to make them a cohesive storyline that works for everybody, because there's a lot of storylines going on for as many characters as we have in this diverse cast, you know?
Do you like to share some of your favorite memories on the set for this season?
Well, usually most of my favorite memories are off camera because the crew is, this crew has been with our lead character since he was a child. He's an adult man now at 21 years old, well, young adult. And when you've known people for that long, you pretty much kind of know what makes them tick, if they're reliable or not. And we've gotten lucky to have a great crew, great cast, that everyone gets along for this many years. So I don't know if that answers the question, but.
Oh, answers it for me. And my final one for you, your relationship with 50 Cent, I know is going very well. Something I wanted in the 2000s was a track between yourself and 50 Cent. When I asked him this last year, he said he would be up for it. What say you? Will we one day get a Method Man and 50 Cent single?
I love to rhyme. It doesn't matter if it's 50 Cent or 50-year-old virgin. I mean, I love MCing, but 50 is what can I say? His impact on the music game was pretty big, and he's working on doing that same thing in TV and movies. So, don't doubt 50.
That I won't. Thank you so much for your time today. Also, congrats on your NAACP award. I know that meant so much to you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome. How are you doing today, Mary? I know it's been a very long day for you.
Hi, Julian. I'm doing well. Thank you. Thanks for asking.
No problem. You are welcome. Something I want to bring up first is Zeke's death, which was quite shocking during the last season. And I have a son now. He's about almost 2 years old. So losing a son would be very devastating for me. So will we see Monet go through that for the season?
Well, yeah, she's definitely devastated because she lost the son that she's been lying about all her life. Finally got him close to her. She lets him know that he's his mother, and then he gets killed. And then he was her exit strategy as well. So, because she wanted to get out the game, so she's suffering from two things. You know, she can't get out the game, and her child is dead. So it's just bad for her. Like it's just bad, all bad energy she's given.
Yeah, I hope she has a lot of time to grieve during these next few episodes too, because that's quite heavy.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
In your opinion, what makes you believe that Monet could really trust Tariq for this season compared to the last season?
I don't think that Monet can really trust Tariq, but she can trust Tariq to be Tariq and get, go, be greasy and go behind people's back and get information that she needs. So she's going to use that to her advantage.
What's the character development been like for you for this season, especially we're headed towards a dark territory?
Wow. I mean, I just had to go travel back to some dark places and grab some dark things and things that I was mourning over and things that I was hurt at one time in my life and wanted revenge, but whatever with revenge. But that feeling and those emotions, give it to Monet. That's what the character development is, just traveling to the real places to get the real stuff.
My final one for you. One thing I also love about the show is how linear it is, especially since we get the story from start to finish. So since you've been on the show from season 1, have you enjoyed the experience?
Yes, the experience has been phenomenal. The creative, the cast, it's amazing. I'm very grateful.
Thank you so much for your time today. And also, I hope you get as much rest as you need after this one today.
Thank you, Julian. Take care.
Thanks, you too. Good to speak with all of you again this year.
How you doing? Deja vu.
Yeah. Yeah. How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm still wide awake and caffeinated. So let's get right to it. Last year, the last season, it was very explosive with the three of you bond, especially during that dinner table, which was one of my favorite scenes of the entire season. So how explosive is going to get for the three of you for the season?
I see. It's gonna get a lot of expectations will be subverted, and I think there's going to be things that happen that the audience won't be ready for. I think last season I was like, be prepared to clutch your pearls and get a new set. I think this season you got to get a whole new wig.
Oh my God!
Like that.
Yeah,
Bars.
wigs will be snatched. That is a fact.
I think it's gonna be great, man. It's just juicy, bro. It's so much I want to say, but I can't say it because I feel like it's gonna be a spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be really, really juicy this season.
Something I'm also realizing when I saw the trailer is that everyone's trust is on the line. Could the three of you say the same for all three of your characters?
100%.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of
100%.
trust dynamics will be tested and pushed.
Especially you, Woody. Kane is quite a menace the last season when I saw him. So how much of the danger territory is this character going to get back to by the time this season premieres?
I think he's really gonna have to rely on his siblings to get him out of a lot of those dangers this season. He's running around wild, putting on pants that's too big for him. And I think he just needs to be humble. And I think we're going to see that this season.
Well, I hope someone's going to find out what happened to Zeke. Once that does happen, it's going to get crazy. I can tell.
That's the bomb under the table right there. All right.
Well, I'm happy to speak with all three of you again. Hope y'all enjoy the rest of the day. I know y'all have a very long day today.
Thank you so
bro.
much.
Take care,
Nice
Julian.
to see you.
Same here. Nice to see all of you again, too.